Shoestring J and welcome back to my channel. Today I am filming from the sanctity of our bedroom because I've got a house full of people and guests for the weekend, so I thought, well, I need to go and sneak off somewhere quietly. Archie's come with me, so he might bark and interrupt things. But anyway, I was thinking this morning on my morning walk with the dog about the state of the planet and getting gloomy and thinking, what can we do, and thinking that there are quite a lot of things that we can do individually that collectively would make a difference. If we all just thought about the impact of what we do, what we use, what we buy every single day, that would make a difference to the state of the planet. But also, and I've said this before in other videos, it makes a difference when you're on a budget, because it tends to be the case that things that are frugal are also eco-friendly and vice versa. Not always, but you know, they tend to save you money. So anyway, I'll start off by letting you join me and Archie on our morning walk. So we're on one of my favourite walks again today. It's really early Sunday morning, which is lovely because there's just no one here. It's great. It's really peaceful. Although having said that, the car park opposite seems to be filling up, so I think people don't realise that this dog walk is here. And they go to the kind of standard one, and this is a lovely one, it's much nicer. So I'm not telling anyone, I'm keeping it secret. Go on, Archie. The only people I've come across so far have been runners, which makes sense because it looks like it's going to be an absolutely glorious day. So excuse me if you can't see me, I seem to be in the shadow. Come on, Arch. So they're getting out before it gets too warm, which is part of the reason I came out so early with Archie, and partly because all three of my daughters are back today and we're having a nice sort of celebratory roast dinner, because I'm just really happy that they're all employed. They were all unemployed at various points during the pandemic, and they've all got themselves back on their feet, brushed themselves off, and managed to find new jobs, probably better jobs actually, so that's really good. So it's just, you know, it's really hard, particularly for my youngest daughter. She was fresh out of university and she literally applied for hundreds and hundreds of jobs. So this is someone with a really good degree and a lot of work experience, because she always had to work during her degree. I couldn't afford to give her lots of extra money, so she always had to work. So she had a lot of work experience, although I guess it was more kind of retail and bar type experience, but still, you know, she had good experience. But she still couldn't find anything. Excuse the sniffing, I've got a bit of hay fever this morning. It's for ages, or the one job she found turned out to be, they pretended it was an admin job, when she got, it was actually a really awful call centre. So she didn't last very long in that one. That was far too stressful. And having worked in the call centres myself, I can tell you, I never wanted that for my girls. I think they're inhuman places. It's like factory farmed office workers. They're actually horrible places to work. You just are tied to your desk. People inevitably annoyed and frustrated with you, so you get very rude customers, and you're not allowed to think for yourself. You have to follow the company line, and you're literally tied to your desk. You have to justify every break that you ever have. So if you want to go to the loo, you have to put yourself in a comfort break, and that's all monitored, and then your calls are all monitored, and they listen to every aspect of what you've done. It's just inhumane. And I was actually a manager in a call centre for a while, mainly because, you know, that was the job I could get that paid me decent money, and I really detested it. I hated the way the staff were treated, but and tried to kind of make it as good as possible. But in the end, a call centre is a call centre. I think we should think of different ways to do things. But anyway, ramble over for now. I think Archie's probably going to do a poo in the middle of this, but this is just such a nice view. I don't know if you can see it on film. This meadow is just full of different wildflowers. It was poppies at one point, which were just stunning, and now it's all kinds of different types of plants, which I don't know the names of, to be honest. I'm not great on names of things, but it's just a sea of colour, lots of different greens and browns, reds and yellows. It's really, really pretty. I love this walk. And there was yet another report out on climate change and how urgent the situation is this week. And I think I've been kind of environmentally anxious for a long time, and really kind of conscious of trying to do my bit really for years, 20, 30 years. And people thought I was weird, and I think people still think I'm a bit weird, even though it's a massive emergency. So I'm just trying to think what else I can do. I need to do more, really. I feel I need to do more, but it's just, I just think it's lots of small things can make a difference. Keep bumping into people who think I'm mad just talking to myself. Yeah, I was thinking, what I should drive a lot less. I don't drive that much, but I wish I was the sort of person that could cycle, but I just can't cycle. I've got fibromyalgia, very mildly, but I do have it, and I'm just too exhausted. I don't have the energy to do it. I can't cycle long distances. I do have a bike, but it's been in the shed and gathering dust for quite a few years now. Justin likes to cycle. He's he's much better at it. He just cycles for fun, but we can't really go places on our bikes with the dog, and we can't go places on the bikes because I can't cycle. But if I could get an electric bike, that would be good, but that's another big expense. When you're on a budget, it's quite hard. I'd like an electric bike, an electric car. I would like to get solar panels on my roof, but I can't afford those either at the moment, and all the grants seem to have disappeared. I'd like to get a little wind turbine down the garden. But most of us just don't have the money for these things. Oh, I've got to go and pick up a poo. Nice. I would like not to buy anything wrapped in plastic, but I have to shop in the discount supermarkets. I can't afford to go to a refill shop and buy everything that's not in plastic. And a bit of me thinks, well, a lot of me actually thinks, why the hell should I? This should be coming from the top. Government should be doing what they're supposed to do and legislating against the retailers and the suppliers who are putting everything in plastic. Sorry, I keep meeting people. Me saying that it's completely empty of dog walkers, but there's a few sensible folk out here before it gets too hot. So I think that our government should be leading us and actually doing something and make it easy for us. We shouldn't, as individuals, have to try to follow a zero waste lifestyle, because most people, that's just not practical for them. If you've got a family and you work full time and you cannot afford to go and buy all your stuff organic and loose somewhere, it's not going to happen, is it? You've got to make it easy for people. If you want people to change, although it's not really people, I think it's big business. I think my daughter told me the other day that something like 20% of international companies are causing 70% of the climate problems, and that's beyond my scope. What can I do about that? All I can do is what I can do, but I do feel like I need to do more. Come on, Archie, come on. My friends, the alpacas, still asleep. But still, I don't want to get hopeless about it. We've got to do our bit, and we've got to not give in to despair. And I've been thinking as I've been walking around about small things that I can do, that are within my budget, and that I do already. So I'm going to do a post about those and tack it at the end of this. Just thinking about things that are worth buying to stop you buying disposable, so reusables that are worth buying that prevent waste and save you money as well, help the environment. So Here's my list of 10. So here we are back in the bedroom, and here is my list of 10 reusable items that will save you money and waste, so maybe you can consider them. The first one is for the women amongst you, and that is reusable sanitary items. So the first thing I came across in this respect was a menstrual cup, a moon cup actually. I think there are lots of others on the market now, so something to suit everybody, but also reusable sanitary towels now as well. You never used to be able to get those, you had to make your own, or there weren't any really. So, but you can get all sorts now, they're in all different colours, they're easy to wash. They're, people think ick, but the whole thing is ick, isn't it really? So just accept that it's a fact of life. If you're a woman, that you're going to have a period, then why not lower the impact on the environment by using and considering at least reusable sanitary items. So number 2 on my list are bamboo pads to remove your makeup or to use when you're using cleanser. Unless you just use soap and water on your face, you probably do use these items, either disposable wipes, or you can get biodegradable wipes, which may be slightly better, but they are still something that's single-use disposable, or cotton wool pads. So maybe consider investing in some of these. I use an old sweetie jar, and I've got these bamboo pads which I actually bought several years ago. I mean, I've had these a long time. They were new in their packet, but they were in the charity shop. Somebody must have had them for Christmas and not wanted them. So I snapped those up when I saw them, and I've been using them ever since. I wait until I've got about, 5 or 6 that need washing. You have a little bag that comes with them, a little muslin bag, and just stick them in the laundry with everything else. And they're really good. I really recommend getting some of those rather than having a disposable item. So my third suggestion is those little I call them earbuds, but they're just cotton buds, aren't they, really? You can use them for applying makeup or cleaning out your ears or whatever, really. Did you know that they are also available in reusable versions now? So no more little plastic sticks to dispose of. You can get these, and apparently they last for the same time as 1,000 cotton buds would. And what about plastic razors? How many of those do we all use and chuck in the bin? I prefer to use my bamboo, it's Bamboo, I think is the name of the company that make it. It's got a bamboo and stainless steel body. Don't do what I did though. When I was changing the blade earlier, I actually did cut my finger because it's like old-fashioned razor blade, so you do have to be careful, but generally speaking, I cut myself not really any more than I used to with disposable razors, and this one has lasted me about 3 years. You do have to replace the blades, as I say, but I put the old one in an old can in the recycling, so they get recycled. So that's number 4 on my list. Consider replacing your plastic razor. So my third suggestion is those little I call them earbuds, but they're just cotton buds, aren't they, really? You can use them for applying makeup or cleaning out your ears or whatever, really. Did you know that they are also available in reusable versions now? So no more little plastic sticks to dispose of. You can get these, and apparently they last for the same time as 1,000 cotton buds would. On to number 5, dishcloths. I haven't used disposable dishcloths for a long time now because I just don't like them, really. Archie is having a scratch and shaking the bed around. Do you have to do that? So I'll use just knitted dishcloths. You can buy them in the supermarket that you can wash. I stick them sometimes in a sort of antibacterial type solution to make sure they're really clean before I put them in the washing machine. One of my blog readers actually knitted me some and sent me a few of these knitted dishcloths. So you can knit your own, or you can make them out of old t-shirts, bits of cotton toweling, terry toweling, that sort of thing, and just use them again and again and again, and you never have to buy another one. You never have some to chuck one in the bin. So that moves us on to number 6 on my list, which is household wipes, which have sprung up all over the place for every job in recent years. So you can get the mops where you have to buy the disposable wipe that you attach to the mop, and they just, why not use a mop and bucket? I use a mop and bucket, it's much easier. Gets things really clean, you can stick a bit of disinfectant in there. I don't really see the point, I can't see how a little bit of wipe is going to have the same kind of cleaning power as my mop and bucket. Plus, you're chucking it in the bin at the end of it, and you get wipes to clean your bathroom, you get antibacterial wipes to disinfect everything in your house. You can just buy a bottle of disinfectant and mix it with some water and use one of your knitted dishcloths to have a wipe around, can't you? So just think about that. So all those disposable wipes that you see on the supermarket cleaning shelves, forget about those and find some reusable alternatives. So number 7 on my list, parents. If you would like to be a really green parent and leave the planet in a better condition for your children, then really think about ditching the disposable nappies and looking at some reusables. I know some of them are very fancy looking and quite expensive now, but they can be passed down. You can sell them on if they're not in too bad condition. You can buy them second hand as well, and you don't really have to have super fancy reusable nappies. After all, you know, many of us my age and over, we were brought up on terry toweling, just little squares of terry toweling with some rubber pants, and that's what our parents used, and that worked well forever, really, for many generations. Nothing was thrown away. So you could consider going back to real basics with terry towels. And number 8 on my list, and still on the subject of babies, baby wipes. So again, they was a fairly recent invention, I think. So I know they're really handy when you're out and about, having some baby wipes to hand for all those smeary faces and that kind of thing. You could maybe have a packet of the biodegradable ones for when you're out and about, if that's easier. But when you're at home, why not just have a bowl of warm soapy water and a flannel or a piece of terry toweling, and you can wipe faces and splashes and bottoms and things with that, and then stick them in your nappy bucket to be sanitised in with the nappies before you launder them. So number 9 is tissues, disposable tissues. Why not stop buying disposable tissues and think about reusable hankies, cotton hankies? So I think these were a set of 3 that I picked up in the charity shop that were still new in their box. And I've got a good collection of them now. It's the kind of thing I pick up whenever I see them. And they're really great. So I said before in my last video, I think, that when I've got hay fever or a cold, I prefer these. They feel softer on your skin than tissues. If I do occasionally use a tissue, I will always stick it in with the composting anyway. But generally speaking, why not think about reverting to hankies rather than those little individual packets of tissues covered in plastic that you then throw in the bin? The final item on my list of things that you can buy to stop you throwing stuff away is a decent reusable water bottle. This is a glass one covered in silicone, which actually, I mean, I've had this for a long time and it's lasted quite well. My one problem with this is that it is rather large, so if I'm not going out with my rucksack, it's a bit heavy just to pop in your handbag. So I am looking out for something that's perhaps half the size of this. If I come across any plastic bottles that other people have discarded, I'll usually wash them, and if they're smaller than this, that's the sort of thing I'll take out and about for a bit. I do want to get a smaller one. I think that the move that we have all made, or many of us anyway, towards water in plastic bottles is criminal, really. I just think all of that plastic, so much plastic, can all be avoided just by using the very good water out of your tap, using a water filter if you don't like the taste, and a bottle like this, and just being a bit organised in advance. That's the one thing you have to think about, taking something with you or keeping one in your car, or you can always ask someone to fill it up for you. Normally restaurants or cafes will fill a water bottle up for you. I just think buying constant plastic bottles, drinks in plastic bottles, is just crazy when you're trying to be more eco-friendly. So consider investing in a good reusable bottle. It doesn't have to be glass, it could be plastic, and that's really worthwhile, I think. So I hope you enjoyed rather than endured my eco rant from this morning, and that my suggestions for reusable items that will help you save money and waste were useful. Don't forget to hit the like button if you did enjoy this video, and subscribe if you want to see more of a similar kind of video coming along. Hit those notifications and you'll know when I've produced something new. Until next time, see you soon. Bye.